Okay, my name is Nemo Baker. I own Dallas Paper and Packaging. We are a supplier of McDonald's. We do about 9 states of McDonald's. My property is a 1.5 acre piece of property, and before I had maintenance being done on it through a commercial lawn service. But now with the Segway X390, it's actually doing all of the things that I wanted done by the landscape company. Before I had the wire-laden steel mowers, and they worked good, except that every month there was a break in the wires, and of course that made it impossible for the mower to work. But the main thing about the Segway is I can have it go and cut in specific areas that have been designated. Once I looked up the X390, which looked to be the mower that I wanted because of the battery size and how long it worked, and I was looking for someone that I could get who would help me with it to install it. And I just kept looking on the internet, and I found SmartDots, and I come to find out that they were right in my backyard, and that just made it more plausible that I would use them, and they came out and did a fantastic job. I never knew that they had a gate, and I just happened to be in the office, and I looked and saw the gate. And I said, oh my God, this is exactly what I needed, because I had always thought about cutting a hole in the fence, which would have been not from an aesthetic standpoint very nice. But when they told me that they had developed a gate on their own, and I said, oh, absolutely. And the gate works perfectly. If you're not pretty astute as far as installing mowers, et cetera, it's better that you pay to get them to install it, because if there's some idiosyncrasies like there's trees or you don't have the height to get the signal to the front and you got a large piece of property, it's a pretty complex thing to install on your own. So I would recommend that you get SmartDots to install it for you. It's well worth the cheap price that they charged me for installing it. I called the next day and told SmartDots how excited I was about how well it was cutting the grass and how at different angles it cuts the grass. I'm thoroughly satisfied with it. I'm really pleased by how it cuts the tree around the trees. It'll just circle around the trees and cut the areas around the trees, and then it'll go back and start cutting the yard in general. Well, SmartDots was very responsive. In fact, I had an opportunity to have to call them on a Sunday. Most people don't answer their phones on a Sunday. They're closed on Sunday, Saturday and Sunday or whatever. But no, they're very responsive, and I would recommend them to anybody. They're concerned about making sure that your mower is working and working right, and if you have a problem, they basically say, call me anytime. Before I was paying a large amount to have my lawn cut every Friday, and now by the fact that it goes in and it does the edging on its own twice around the property before it gets started, now my property looks perfect every day of the week.